Hey love lovers, hello everyone. We are talking about Kylie Jenner, the cosmetics mogul, right? Businesswoman, powerful, with her boyfriend Timothée Chalamet, a very good actor right now, right? They both young, they both look good, they both vibey. Now let's see how they vibe together in Synastry. Let's go. The very first thing that everyone can see, literally from both systems, from the Vedic and from the Westerners, everyone, all the love lovers can see that both of their Saturns are conjunct each other's Ketus, right? So we have a double whammy of Ketu South Node, a conjunct Saturn for both partners. So of course guys, if you've been following my analysis, you do know by now what's going to happen, right? You do know by now what's going to play out. We're going to see a lot of break up, get back together, break up, get back together, break up, get back together. Why? Because that's what Ketu does. Ketu is a cutter, okay? And of course this is a methodology from the Vedic point of view. Ketu cuts things, okay? Whereas Saturn on the other side wants to commit. So you have someone who wants to commit, and you have another one who wants to separate themselves from the relationship. And in this case, they both are having the same desires as well as fears at the same time. So definitely more and more breakups are to be expected from this, and getting back together expected as well, because that's the role of Ketu or South Node, you know, when it comes to Saturn. So yeah, this is just a final edit, you know. Just before, you know, I was done with my editing, I just saw a comment on one of the videos that I had made about Ketu being a separator. Yes, for sure, Ketu is a separator, is a distancer. But also Ketu is a binder, because Ketu is responsible for making knots on ropes, right? So it separates, but at the same time it binds things back together. So that's why it's very powerful. Of course, when we make videos, we cannot explain everything all in one video. It's just impossible. So we know we speak from here and there, and it's just impossible to define each planet in one video. Otherwise then we'll just have a video dedicated to that planet, and that would be like an hour or over just focusing on the planet. So yeah, I just wanted to clear that up, you know, and thanks again for the comments, obviously. But back to, you know, Kylie Jenner and Timothée Chalamet, right? So when I look at this, right, and I saw that her Venus is conjunct with his ascendant, right? But there's Rahu there. very important. But anyway, looking at just the Venus aspect, right? When Venus gets conjunct with or overlays on your partner's ascendant, it means that you add some beauty to them. You add like a beautifying, coloring, a vibe to their personality, to their appearance. When you walk with this person, people say, oh wow, he looks good, she looks good, right? So which is the case obviously to Timothée. It's like Kylie Jenner's look, or Venus, you know, adds that beauty to him. Of course, he's already a beautiful man. I mean, look at him. He's already a beautiful man, right? But she adds, you know, that Venusian aspect to it. However, when it comes to her own Venus, because it's conjunct with the Rahu, it makes it a bit out of the norm. It's not like an obvious like wow look, right? It's a look that goes like wow, interesting, different, right? Because she's got her own Rahu with Venus. And of course, Venus with the Rahu, when it comes to her, we know that she's had, some work done, like not plastic surgery, but like, surgeries done and Botox and all of that done on her face, like to enhance her beauty. It is because of that Rahu. So she's bringing all of that vibe and the aura of Lilith all on him. So now when people look at him with her, they see all of the things that she comes with, even with the aura of that Lilith, as well as the Rahu, out of the norm, out of the ordinary, different, enhanced, because Rahu enhances things. So enhanced beauty, and of course from her point of view, it is enhanced from surgeries and cosmetic work done on her, right? I feel like I always have to kind of like warn you guys about my voice. I'm having that problem again today with my voice, but anyway, we soldier on. Now the thing is that even herself, she sees him, as a beautiful man, as an exotic man, but it is all coming from her own Venus and her own Rahu and her own Lilith. But because she's the partner, sitting opposite him, looking at him, she's seeing what people are also seeing, right? Now, what's very important here that I wanted to focus on is that her Ketu, because remember her Ketu is conjunct with his Saturn and his Saturn is conjunct with her Ketu, all of that, like their Saturns are conjunct their Ketus, all of that, right, as I explained. But her Ketu now comes and overlays on his 7th house of marriage, 7th house of serious relationship, of commitments and all of that, right? What does this mean? It means that chances of them getting married together are very slim. Chances of her getting married to him are very slim, because Ketu does not give a commitment that is permanent. Like it comes, it binds, and it goes again, it breaks. It comes, it binds, and it goes again, and it breaks, right? However, because of also his own Saturn and his own 7th house, it delays the marriage, in his life, meaning that after after 36, 37 years old, it's going to be okay. But when I look specifically, when I calculate specifically on his chart, because this is a general thing about certain right? But when it comes to him, the age 38 is when he could start being very, very serious, or finding somebody who can be his partner for life, right, at age 38. But let's continue with their synastry. So now when I look at obviously the glue that makes them to be together, because why are they together if they're gonna break up, get back together, break up, get back together, due to the certain conjunct Ketu, double whammy? Why? Because there is a glue, and if you guys remember, I've told you in different videos that when certain conjuncts moon, it creates a bondage, it creates a glue, it creates an emotional responsibility where one or both partners would feel forced or obligated to be in this relationship. So in some cases, in most cases actually, it's usually through children, and in some cases it's usually through status or profession that makes people stay in this type of situations, right? And because Saturn and Moon are they don't gel well together, because remember, Saturn does not really like Moon. Moon doesn't care. Moon is okay. Moon is neutral to Saturn, but Saturn does not care. So meaning that in this type of a situation, Kylie Jenner would be wanting to commit and, you know, be committed, have a long-term thing for sure. But because of Timothy's changing moods or changing vibes, then it makes her doubt that he's into it for a long term, right? Because remember, Moon fluctuates, right? It's too dark today, it's too light, there's moon, there's no moon, waning, waxing, all of that, right? So this is what happens as well in synastry. The moon partner, Timothée in this case, would have like even if it's unconscious and subconscious, most of the time it is subconscious. It's a subconscious behavior that moon partners do. They act in a way that is never sure for the certain. So it's like they're gonna say maybe with the words, I love you, you know, I want to be with you, but then with the actions, then they give this insecurity to the certain partner, which would be the case here. And again, because I said it's a glue, it's like a glue, it binds them together, because the certain is loyal to commitment. Certain always wants to commit. So even if there's going to be resentment, there's going to be feeling like you know, I'm unhappy here, and both partners really do feel like I'm unhappy. The moon and the certain feel like I'm unhappy, I'm unsure. And because the thing is, when moon fluctuates and does all these mood swings, changing mood, you know, then the certain goes back to being cold, goes back to being reserved with their own emotions, right? And remember, the certain partner will take time to show emotions, will take time to you know, to reveal how they really feel. So now imagine, now this moon is like wanting to move fast. The moon is like, show me your emotions now, I want to know, do you love me, do you do, you know? And the certain is like taking their time. But when the certain partner finally, you know, reveals that I'm committed, I'm 100% here, then the moon partner has already moved on, because moon moves fast. The moon partner is already thinking, okay, this certain partner doesn't want me, oh la la, and then they also change their emotional stance. So this is the dance that happens in this situation, which results definitely with resentment and with some grief inside, like yeah, like, you know, those unspoken feelings of this person, you know, why do they keep doing this? Like you don't even necessarily have to say it, but you feel it. So this is what we experience with this part. So this is what Kylie could be like facing, and this is what Timothée could also be facing for sure. On the other hand, you know, he comes with his Jupiter, Sun, and Mars, and which, you know, get conjunct on her own ascendant now, giving her even a brighter light that she already had. Meaning that immediately after they got back together, people started to respect Kylie Jenner, like, oh wow, okay, Kylie, you know, oh wow, you are really, you know, the queen, you are really the it vibe, you are really hot, you are really sexy, you are really, you know, attractive, Kylie, due to his planets. You remember, Mars is sexuality. So when Mars is on the ascendant, it gives that sexual attraction. And then Sun is king, you guys. Sun is so bright. So that now when it sits on the ascendant, everyone is looking at you like, wow. Oh wow, so bright. We need our shades. We need our glasses, our sunglasses. Right? And this is what happened now with Kylie. People started to respect her. People started to see her in an upper class, because that's what Sun is about, you know, royalty, upper class. And Jupiter, of course, Jupiter expands whatever it touches, but now Jupiter comes here and sits on her ascendant, which is what? Sagittarius, and it's home for Jupiter. This is Jupiter's house. So meaning that, again, reinforcing what I said, that Timothée and Kylie, they feel good together physically. They feel relaxed, particularly with his Jupiter on her ascendant. This is all about comfort. This is all about I'm home. This is all about we can explore together. We can communicate. We can share things. We can learn. We can reach, the high of the highs of the highs of the highs. When it comes to exploring and knowledge and travel and all of that, right? So this is good. This is really good. But now, going back to her Venus and her Rahu being on his ascendant of her Leo, this becomes a bit of a problem, right? Because remember, Leo is ruled by Sun, and Sun does not really have a good relationship with Venus and Rahu, right? So meaning that people in general, when they look at Timothée, they criticize. They start to wonder, like, why is he with her? How, like, what is going on? She's not suitable for him. She's not suitable for him. Like, what did he see in her, right? Because now her Venus, her Rahu are unacceptable on her ascendant, and he himself at times would be judging her or criticizing her or placing a high expectations that she cannot reach. Because remember, Leo is about kingdom, is about rules, order, and I'm king, serve me. And when that is not done, what does the king do? The king says, okay, you out of my league, you out of my rank, you fired, right? So it means that he's wanting more and more and more and more of her, of her love, of her affection. And even if it's poured onto him, it's still not enough. There's still something to judge. There's still something that is not satisfying. There's still something that this King Timothée is not accepting, right? But this is also the public that is not accepting of her with him, because remember, the public is sitting in the 7th house looking at Timothée, seeing all of these Venusian planets of Kylie coming to him and going like, what is he doing? Why is he with her? Why? We don't understand, so all of this. And now add again Lilith, and people just start to criticize and give all of that vibe, like stinging vibe, right? So this is what it. So again, when I look at her certain, right, her certain really, really wants to have a long-term, like a shared life where they share resources together, where they share like a bondage, similar to a marriage, similar to a serious commitment, because of it's overlaying, in the 8th house of Timothée's chart, right? This is what it needs. It needs a shared life altogether, right? However, remember again, Ketu is here. Ketu is saying, no. It can happen, but it's gonna break. But it will come back again, but it's gonna break. But it will come back again, right? So if you guys can manage the comeback, break, come back, break, come back, break, after that, then I can give you, or then you can have a long life, right? But they have to manage these breakups until they can sort out the karma of Ketu in this regard. I have her sun in his 12th house, meaning that ever since they got back, ever since they got together, she's gotten him to know himself more, to find out about the hidden talents that he has and the hidden things that he has or he never knew about himself. The sun here comes and just opens up everything, the whole buried aspect of the 12th house, right? Bringing out all the dreams that were buried, right? So it means that when they started the relationship, Timothée started to have, vivid visions about what he wants to do in life, where he wants to go, how he wants to get there. Like the subconscious got opened up by her son, bringing that good vibe here. And remember, it's in Cancer, meaning that it's feeling very comfortable. Yes, it's in watery, but the sun here is giving a rays, like a light that enables him to touch deep within himself, within his subconscious, to bring out those dreams that he would have never known that he had until they got into this relationship. Again, her Mars is giving a powerful boost to him, to his efforts, because it goes and it overlays on the 3rd house, making him like a go-getter, like somebody who's able now to chase after, his efforts to make things happen, because that's what Mars does in the 3rd house. Very good, very active. And now all of a sudden he sees that I can make things happen, I can chase dreams, because there's Kylie's Mars here. It's helping me, right? But as always, Jupiter and Venus, they really give like a free love that is not bound and cannot be bound down, like a love that is open-minded, or it's looking out there for alternative interests, right? So you're just that part that is giving that free-flowing vibe, where somebody might be interested in other people at some point. I do see him getting more professional opportunities when it comes to her planets boosting him, because her Jupiter gets conjunct with his Venus, okay, and this is what in Capricorn, in the sign of profession, sign of status, right? And Jupiter, remember, it expands whatever it touches. So I do see him getting more recognition professionally after they got back together. Why do I keep saying got back together? After they started the relationship, right? Again, another indication of somebody, being possible in cheatation or in being interested in other people, point blank, right? Is that his Lilith is conjunct with her 7th house, okay? Remember, Lilith is the suppressed desires of doing the naughty stuff, of doing what is not acceptable, of doing what is looked with those judging eyes upon, right? So with his Lilith now in her 7th house, it's giving another idea that somebody might want to do something that is not really acceptable by the public, when it comes to this. And obviously when it comes to relationships, most of the time it's cheating, or it's having relationships with people we're not supposed to have relationships with biologically. And so that's another thing or negative that I see. I do see like a lot of confusing communication between them, whereby the communication could be exaggerated, or the communication could be sent with the intention of confusing the other partner, or I don't want to say lie, but to make things easy, like when somebody's lying a lot. I see this because of the Mercury being conjunct with Neptune here. So there could be some delusions that are spoken, or half truths that are being spoken here. Okay, and these could be in the terms of maybe somebody's even job, or somebody's daily routine, like what are you doing? I'm going to the mall, but you're really not at the mall, you're with maybe somebody else. So this is what I see here because of that Mercury being conjunct with Neptune. So now looking at the couple, in general or as a whole, because I'm done now with the aspects that are coming out in the open. We could talk about like other aspects, but really they don't give enough oomph. So I always don't do that on YouTube, right, to save time. But now looking at the dynamics, something here is very visible. For me, it's with the only thing that is really coming out is friends, meaning that they have a good friendship, or maybe they started as friends before they decided, okay, we want to be now in a relationship. Okay, I'm seeing a lot of friend. I'm seeing this, it's coming up too many times. So it's, as I said, it's either they were friends and at some point they said, man, okay, let's give it a try, let's date, right? Or it means that even within this relationship, they still highlight their friendship part. They still see each other as each other's friend, each other's best friend. All right, so this is what it's coming up a lot. Like it's it's just so visible, right? She's 27, he's 28, right? But for some reason Timothée sees her as a child, or as childish. There's this aspect of him seeing her as a child or childish. So maybe it could be how the things she does, I wouldn't know, right? But there's this view of, oh my gosh, she's so childish, oh my gosh, okay, I should take care of you, oh my gosh, I should teach you this. Right? So I do know that Kris Jenner is the Jenner manager, but I do see her being involved in their shared life, in their relationship. I see the role of a motherly figure, getting involved, in their shared life, or maybe Timothée feeling her vibe, or feeling her aura around the relationship. This is very, very visible as well. All right. And this is not giving discomfort to Timothée. This is actually acceptable to him, because he's got his own moon around the around the 8th house of shared resources, shared life. So he likes this. So he likes this motherly support that he could be getting from Kris Jenner, for sure. Again, as I said when I was looking at the planets, that his profession has grown or has expanded. It's actually again enforced with the whole look of their synastry. Again, I see the profession going up, also the finances going up, also the status going up due to her chart, right? I do see though like an inhibition, like something that is restricting them from enjoying the bedroom life together. There is something that is stopping them, or something that is limiting them from enjoying this bedroom life, this type of activities. So maybe it could be work or distance or whatever, but something is stopping them from being intimate, like and enjoy it, really, and enjoy it. So that's coming up a lot as well. Yeah. So of course, as I said, she's 27, he's 28, soon turning 29, right? So I do of course expect, because of the certain Ketu, some sort of breakups, and now next year, when she's turning 28 or around the 28th mark, her Ketu will be progressing over her progressing Venus. So there's going to be a conjunction of progressing Ketu and progressing Venus, okay, which then would be attaching themselves on his Venus, okay. So at this point, there could be a minor breakup, some sort of like a minor thing, a minor breakup, and then of course, because it's Ketu and certain, they could get back together. And again, when I look at their progressions, like in terms of planets, I also see that currently her Saturn is conjunct with his progress Saturn, again making another glue, another attachment, being serious, because Saturn is a serious planet when it comes to commitment, right? So this is again another story why they're together right now. But when she's turning 30 again, right, I see that her progressing Venus would be attached with, her progressing Venus would be attached to her natal Saturn, and again with his Ketu. So here, even though there could be some sort of a breakup, it's possible that it would be healed by the progressing Venus over this conjunction, right? And as of when she turns 29 now, her Venus will be progressing over her own Ketu. So there's like a 3-year period where things are just, breaking, coming back together, breaking, coming back together, breaking, coming back together. However, when now he's 32 years old, I can see some sort of seriousness coming up, that could be coming up. So maybe some sort of news, if they're still together, of some engagement or a serious attachment or something of sort, right? But however, remember, I did say that at age 38, this is when the planets will be very strong for him to have marriage, to have a strong commitment thing, right? But around the 32 age, it wouldn't be surprising if we could hear some marriage news or engagement at least, right? But at 38, for sure, this is going to give us a very, very good, stable answer when it comes to his commitment, for sure. So, to summarize this whole vibe going on, because it's a lot of aspects, it's a lot of stuff that is happening with their planets, with their progress planets, with their synastry, with just their vibe. A lot of stuff is happening. But what is visible, obviously, is that yes, they will have some breakups and get back together, like most people. And if they do want to get married, they have to wait for at least some years, and until these Ketu impacts are done, really. And as for him, age 38, when Saturn has matured, because remember it's in the 7th house. Yes, it's exalted, but it does require a stability, like a full-on stability. And when it does mature around 36, 37, then it gives that good ahead for the age 38, right? But why age 38, right? Because I have his Ketu, his progressed Ketu now, going over his Venus currently, right? And after the age of 36, it's going to free the Venus factor. So meaning that the Ketu will be on its way, and Saturn will be also on his way, right? So things would be settling at this time, and Saturn would have matured at this point, right? So finally, 37, 38, for sure, good point for him, right? But with her, things get light quite earlier than him, all right? But of course, to make things work, people have to wait for both partners to be in a good stance, all right? In any case, if she did get married to him or with him, she would be full in because of her certain conjunct with the moon factor. That glue that I talked about? It's very, very, very important. And her Saturn is conjunct with his 8th house of shared resources, of marriage itself, the house where marriage things really, really get down, right? So yeah, guys, that's it. That's the synastry of these two besties, two friends, very best friends, very good friends, Kylie Jenner and Timothée Chalamet. And yeah, very good friends, very good vibes, but many problems that would need to be taken care of. I mean, it's part of life. I mean, these processes, all of that. If they manage all these breaks, if they manage all these things, if they manage, all of these Lilith things, wanting to look at other people or consider other people, if they manage all of this, then in their 40s, they would just be on top of the relationship for sure. So thanks, guys, and thanks for the comments again. I enjoy them and they make me think, and I like to learn. I'm a learner. I'm a Gemini, so we learn forever. So yeah, and the suggestions, they're very nice because I get to think about, okay, which video I should do next. Very cool. So thanks everyone, and book your session and join the class. It's not a class, but it's like a shared information in private. 28 euros, once in a lifetime, all on my website. I'll see you soon. A bientôt. Ciao, ciao.